Hello there, agents. This is Prajna, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. In today's video, I'm excited to share with you guys 3 top-tier high-damage solo PvE builds for Year 5 Season 3 Vanguard. And wait till you see the last build, because it's an absolute shredder. Since the latest initiative, Project Resolve introduced quite a bit of improvements and weapon buffs designed to bring new life into the game's arsenal and gameplay mechanics. This opened doors for more build diversity and a more balanced player experience. With Project Resolve, Massive Entertainment aims to promote diversity in player loadouts and foster a more dynamic combat experience. Whether you prefer to wield a nimble SMG or a heavy-hitting marksman rifle, Project Resolve was released to ensure that every weapon has its moment to shine on the battlefield. So with that being said, here are 3 top-tier high-damage DPS builds for the Division 2 Year 5 Season 3 Vanguard. These builds were designed with all the improvements and weapon buffs kept in mind, so you're gonna be breezing through heroic like it's story mode. Like, look how fast these NPCs are getting melted, like butter. Let's start this list off with the one-shot Hotshot Sniper build. This build will make clearing control points way easier. One-shotting the NPCs is a great way to XP farm. This build shines and works really well in the open world content. Clearing level 4 control points and public executions should be a piece of cake with this build. I'm sure some of you may already have this build in your loadout since it's very popular. For this build, we will be utilizing the Determined Headhunter talents to continually deal headshot damage with each subsequent shot. So, in other words, when you get a headshot kill, your next shot will be headshot damage. Pretty cool, right? Well, let's take a closer look at this build. Since this is a headshot sniper build, we will be using the Sharpshooter specialization. The Sharpshooter specialization will give you 15% headshot damage. In addition to that, the Sharpshooter specialization has the talent round after round. After 20 seconds in cover, you start generating 5 marksman rifle ammo every 10 seconds. This can be helpful if you're pinned down in the middle of a heroic mission with very little ammo, and since this is an all-red core weapon damage build, survivability is out the window. So in a situation like this, the round after round talent will be super beneficial for you. Because, let's face it, the NPCs in this game don't believe in reloading their weapons, so it's safe to say that if you decide to leave cover to grab ammo, you're getting beamed instantly. For the primary weapon, we'll be using the classic M44. Now, I recently put this build together, so I don't have anything currently upgraded on this yet. However, as you saw from the previous footage, I was still one-shotting a lot of the heroic difficulty NPCs anyway. The talent determined on this carbine goes hand in hand with the Headhunter chest piece talent, which I will show you in just a second. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. For the secondary weapon, I'm using the Baker's Dozen, a named M1A rifle that comes with the talent Perfect Lucky Shot. Magazine capacity is increased by 30%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to the magazine. If you don't have this weapon, then I recommend you get a rifle that you enjoy using. Just make sure that your rifle has headshot damage rolled as your third attribute. Now, for the chest piece, I'm using Walker Harris for the 5% weapon damage. Ideally, you want weapon handling and headshot damage rolled on this. This Headhunter talent is really nice. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds equals an additional 125% of that killing blow's damage. Craziness. The damage is capped at 800% of your weapon damage. This is raised to just over 1200% if your headshot damage is greater than 150%. Next, we have the Gift Backpack, which is another named item that comes with Perfect Vigilance. Increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 3 seconds. Since this is a build that we will be playing at a distance, this talent is a great option. For the mask and all the other hotshot pieces, you want to have headshot damage as your attribute. So as you can see, I have 10% headshot damage and another 10% headshot damage mod. 2 pieces of the Hotshot gear set gives you 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling, while 3 pieces gives you 30% headshot damage. And 4 pieces unlock the Headache Hotshot talent. The first headshot with a marksman rifle will increase the next headshot by 20%. A second consecutive headshot will give you 10% armor, and if you're at full armor, it will give you a bonus armor max. That's 50% of your current armor value. And the third consecutive headshot will refill the mag. For the gloves, knee pads, and holster, I have headshot damage rolled on them, and for the stats, the M44 has about 296% headshot damage, and the Baker's Dozen rifle is at 228%. For the skills, the Revive Hive and Decoy work great. Moving on to the second build on this list, we have the Perfect Spotter build. This build is a must-have in any player's loadout. This build deals out a massive amount of damage. We'll be utilizing the Perfect Spotter, Vigilance, and Flatline talents to deal out a ton of multiplicative damage. With the Coyote Mask equipped, this build becomes a monster in long-range combat. I showed you guys a build similar to this in another video, but consider this the 2.0 upgraded version, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description. You can expect to deal out a lot of damage with this build, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the Black Market RPK just hits way harder than the Kingbreaker, but let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. But anyway, having the Coyote Mask equipped with this build takes it to another level. Let's have a closer look. So starting off, we will be using the Technician Specialization. This is because we will be using the linked laser pointer to activate the talent Flatline, which leads me to the primary weapon. The Black Market RPK-74 with a base weapon damage of 145,000, this bad boy packs a serious punch and the damage it deals out is so rewarding. The talent Flatline will amplify weapon damage by 15% to pulsed enemies, so this is why we are using the Technician Specialization for the linked laser pointer. For the secondary weapon, you may use whatever you like. I'm using the Nemesis because this is a range build and it fits my playstyle, so keep that in mind. Feel free to modify or make adjustments to any of these builds so it better suits your playstyle. Next up, we have the Coyote Mask, or as I like to call it, the American Jackal Mask. This mask is extremely viable for mid to long range builds. While having the Coyote Mask equipped, you and all your allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. So basically, the further you are from the enemy, the harder you'll hit, because you will be getting critical hit damage and chance bonuses. For the backpack, I'm using the trustworthy Grupo Sombra, which gives you 15% critical hit damage from having one piece equipped. With the talent, Vigilance rolled increases total weapon damage by 25%. However, taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. Next up is another popular named item, the Contractor's Gloves. Since we are using an LMG, these gloves not only gives you an additional 10% LMG damage, but it also comes with 8% damage to armor. This just further increases the overall damage output with this build. So for the vest, I'm using the named Closer Vest. This comes with the native Perfect Spotter. Let's just take a second to admire how beautiful this chest piece looks. It's just flawless. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so the Perfect Spotter Vest amplifies total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Now factor in Flatline and Vigilance, the damage output is crazy high. This is also a great build for the Dark Zone, by the way. Good for long distance PvP fights as well. Next up, we have the Picaro's Holster, which grants an additional 15% more weapon damage, further increasing this build's damage output. Last but not least is Keska knee pads. These give 10% critical hit chance, and for the skills, Decoy and Reviver Hive work great. Now let's take a quick look at the stats, and there is one point I need to make in regards to having the Coyote Mask equipped, so here's the thing. Make sure that your base critical hit chance does not exceed 50%. This is because you will be getting a critical hit chance bonus from the Coyote Mask. It's safe to be at 50% and let the Coyote Mask fill in the rest. This gives you a chance to throw on more critical hit damage mods. So for the RPK, we are at 145,000 weapon damage, 48% critical hit chance, and 172.3 crit hit damage. Okay guys, this last build is amazing. However, many of you may have to farm for a few pieces of gear. So this is a 3-piece Striker, 1-piece Heartbreaker, Ninja Bike Backpack, and 1-piece Fenris Group AB. Having much more survivability than the previous 2 builds, this build utilizes the power of the Ninja Bike Bag. Having this bag equipped gives us an opportunity to get more bonuses from the gear we have equipped. So in other words, the Ninja Bike Bag will allow you to get an additional bonus from whatever brand set or gear set you have equipped from having just 1 piece equipped. So I have 3 pieces of Striker equipped, and the Ninja Bike serves as my 4th, and I hope I didn't just butcher your brain. Sorry, hopefully that all makes sense to you. So let's check out the specs. For the specialization, I'm using Survivalist for the 10% increased protection from elites. The Eagle Bearer for the primary weapon, with 18% weapon damage and headshot damage rolled as my tertiary attribute. You may change this attribute to whatever floats your boat. I just chose headshots because I like to aim for the head. The Eagle Bearer actually has 2 talents: Eagle Strike and Tenacity. Accuracy increases as you continuously fire your weapon. Up to 100% headshot kills grant the Tenacity buff for 10 seconds. 40 to 80% of damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active up to 100% with 3 kills. Next, let's have a look at this bag. The Ninja Bike Bag's talent is Resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and/or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus, so you can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. This exotic bag also comes with all 3 core attributes. Next up, the Striker Mask with critical hit damage and a critical hit chance mod. Having 2 pieces of Striker unlocks 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces will give a 15% rate of fire, and a 4th piece will unlock the Striker's Gamble talent. Next, I'm wearing a Fenris vest with crits and the talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. Since we have the Ninja Bike Bag equipped, not only do we get 10% assault rifle damage, but we get 30% reload speed as well. For the gloves, critical hit damage, and for the knee pads, critical hit chance. The next piece is the holster, and I'm wearing the Heartbreaker holster. Having the Ninja Bike Bag unlocks the 2-piece bonus, giving 15% assault rifle damage and 15% LMG damage, with 12% critical hit damage. For the skills, I'm using the Ballistic Crusader Shield and Reviver Hive. I find that these 2 skills work great for my playstyle, but you may use whatever skill that suits your playstyle. So now let's take a look at the stats. So we're at 50% crit chance and 105 crit damage. For the secondary, I'm using an LMG, but anything will work just fine. You will mainly be using the Eagle Bearer anyway. Well, that will do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys made it to the end of the video, then you are truly amazing. This is Prajna, and like always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. Keep it cool, keep it classy, love and light. Peace out.